Greetings, I am Mandy Samosi, and this is my channel. Welcome to my world. I have been seeing a lot of information out there about consumerism and how it's becoming a religion, how it's a true religion, right? But I have not necessarily seen how a lot of information about or videos about how this religion of consumerism is affecting the way we plan, the way that we actually are doing things, the way that we get inspired to do things. So that's why we are here today. As always, not only do my greetings come with greetings, but they're greetings of peace, love, and harmony. So I have a confession to make. I am a recovering addict of consumption. Yes. Food, media, buying stuff, anything. I find one thing I like, then I hyperfixate on that thing, and I watch videos about it. I buy a bunch of it. I research about it, and once that is done, I move on to the next thing, right? I did that with fountain pens for a bit. I did that with planners for a bit. I did that with notebooks for a bit. I did that with books. I did that with clothes. I did that with hair, I did makeup, lipstick. I did it with everything. You name it, I did it. Okay. The point I'm making is, in truth, it was given locust, right? Like some people, the locust, they go from one crop, eating up everything, and once they're done with it, they go to another thing. That was me, the locust, me, Mandy Samosi. In truth, I would rather consume than to produce. I had all these big ideas and big visions, but nothing to do. Never did anything. Don't ask me why this accent is here. I don't know. I'm a Southerner. Please help me. Okay. It's easier to consume than it is to produce. I don't have to do the things. I can just learn about doing the things. I can watch YouTube videos about doing the things. I don't have to ever do it. I can be entertained by going outside or going to an event about doing it. Signing up for coaching classes about doing it. I can read a book about doing it. I can consume all this information about doing it. And it makes me feel like I'm doing it. But I never do it. Am I talking to you? Does this sound familiar? Okay. The thing is, when we are researching and constantly looking up things we convince ourselves we are doing, or that we are just need at least one more thing before we start doing it, right? The book Atomic Habits, written by James Clear, states that when you're in motion, you're planning and strategizing and learning. Those are all good things, but they don't produce a result. Action, on the other hand, is the type of behavior that will deliver an outcome. I personally consume so much, I have become a glutton for information. If I want to learn a new language, I consume a ton of information about the best language learning tactics. If I want to purchase a new planner, I consume a bunch of content about people using said planner. By the way, planner season is approaching. I know. Hobonichi's making a lot of changes. I get it. You know, Sterling Link is about to release what's happening. I understand. But if you are a stationary queen like I am, please don't do it. And you know what I'm talking about. You don't need another stack of planners that you're not using. Okay? You don't need to hop from planner to planner. We don't need 5 different planners for that one thing that we may do this year. We don't. It's okay. If I want to write a book, well, let me research how to self-publish or find a publisher. In fact, let me research the differences and pros and cons of the two. But multiple books I have are already done. Why not start the action of finding editors or building an audience and simply starting the work? In fact, I got ideas still for multiple books, still brewing. So where are the other books? Why haven't I started working on those? I consume to avoid putting anything into action. It makes me feel productive. However, it never puts me closer to achieving my dreams. In fact, when I wanted to become more productive, I consumed a book called The Atomic Habits. Then a bunch of YouTube videos on creating better habits. Then YouTube videos on the best planner systems so that I can plan out said habits. Do you get where I'm going with this? My research or consumption would be listed in the motion category. It can give me insight as to where I should go, but it takes action to actually take the advice of all that I have consumed. random, but sometimes I wish they had anonymous meetings for those of us addicted to consumption and addicted to like consuming, better ways to do, how-tos, and et cetera, et cetera. It's a strong bond I've created personally, but I know I'm capable of breaking it, and so are you. In truth, in creating instead of consuming allows me to add momentum to the woman I desire to become, right? We all have, I know I have a dream vision about myself. And if I do it, if I start it, creating, that will help me get there. But if only all the desires we wanted and ideas we have for our lives could happen as easily as consuming information on the process of becoming, I would be a fully evolved woman already. And I'll be ready to transition into my next life. But it doesn't. So I'm still here. In fact, I am still learning to do the things that make me whole and get me closer to my goals. I am in the process of transmuting my love for consuming things about the process of doing things. And I must say I'm off to a good start. I simply must remember my vision on the days that I'm feeling very resistant. I have to just release it and remind myself that the energy doesn't belong to me. Resistance is not who I am. By the way, if you can't tell, this YouTube channel is step one of me actually doing, right? We're doing it. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I'm doing it. And I'm learning that things don't have to be right. I just have to do it. And if I just stop focus on if I was doing it right or perfect and just do it, then that momentum slowly begins to build. It's baby steps. So planning versus obsessing. Let's get into that part, right? So let's break down the differences between planning and obsessing. Because truly at the core of consuming all the information about creating, it is an obsession. This need of being right, doing right, it's just obsession at the end of the day. Every time I get excited about planning, it turns into obsession. I can create plans for my plans. I map it out daily and nightly. Then I change the plan 2 more times once I'm done simply because there's nothing else to plan anymore and it wasn't perfect or something could happen that I didn't think about. Spoiler alert, it'll never be perfect. Never. On the other hand, my obsession may take me so far off track that now my plans and goals have to change completely because now I don't even want to do the thing that I planned. I am convinced that I put myself in positions where I have to change my plan completely on an unconscious level simply because I am addicted to the process of planning, of writing, of thinking, of researching. I'm addicted to the trackers, of creating templates, of mind mapping. I am addicted to this obsession. Very little of what I plan actually goes into fruition. Confession, majority of the videos that I'm now creating were products that I did like 2 to 3 years ago. I spent so much time trying to make it cute that I never execute. I'm saying it again. I spend so much time trying to make it cute that I never execute. Creating the goals is the first step. My goals are clear. I'm not confused on them. Tricks of the beast make me think I am, but I'm not. And breaking down the goals into objectives is step number 2. I've done it a million times. I know what to do. I just need to do it. I've spent thousands of dollars on this step alone, breaking down the goals into objectives. Although it can be useful to make variations of objectives to account for different circumstances, it can be feeding into analysis paralysis, which I've learned. So just do it and pivot as needed. Please, for me, I care a lot. And this last part is execution, our favorite part. Execution has seen very little of me. Even when I start, life happens. I find an excuse to stop again. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do it. I'm never as relentless with the execution as I am with the planning. I guarantee you that I do not allow life or anyone to distract me from planning. But in terms of executing, the walls could like creak. The wind could blow. And I have to stop. I get into this toxic cycle and I just stop. And I just tell myself I'll start again, only to eventually admit that I've quit. So naturally, I have to start the whole process over again, right? Which leads to another reason to plan. Hi, my name is Mandy Samosi, and I am addicted to planning. I have another video that I will be posting soonerish about how not to allow life changes to affect goals. But for now, here are some reminders to self. It does not have to be perfect, but effective. Hard work beats pretty notebooks and planners. God is the ultimate planner. Seek guidance from God first before every goal setting. If you don't believe in God, the Most High, the universe, your highest, best self, I want to leave you with this poem I wrote. It's called Don't Doubt, Just Do. And if you're enjoying this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share. There's a link in the description about how you can support the channel. There is also some pretty cool merch that is dedicated to this poem that I'm about to read to you all today. Again, it's called Don't Doubt, Just Do. How do you write when it seems like inspiration is gone? When I put my pen to paper and I don't know if I'm writing a poem, book, or a song. When I want to write simply because it has been too long. When I am only writing only to create the discipline to remind myself it's not all about where I've been. It's about if I can handle my ugly truths of now. If I can still create in my muddy waters. What has become of all the pages I refuse to write on when I get like this? All the ink that could have served a deeper purpose. I made a mockery of it. I did not only disrespect myself, I disrespected the craft. When inspiration is gone, I must use this poem as a reminder that I still have my gifts. My talents can never leave me because they have been cultivated and crafted by me. It was never something I could read about, take off a shelf, or buy brand new for $19.99. It was birthed from my depths. There may be times where I get a little rusty or my blade begins to dull a little bit. But those are the moments where I must put more time in, pray, readjust, and realign. It is never a time where I should choose to quit. End poem. Again, I have a Shopify that has some merch, pillows, mugs, t-shirts, you name it, it's there if you want to support. There's also a way that you can donate via Cash App in the description. And please remember, yeah, regardless of what you do, if you're a writer, a painter, a content creator, an athlete, no matter what you aspire to do, learn a new language, right? Lose weight, travel the world. I hope you were able to find some inspiration from my poem in this video. So share it, tell a friend. Thank you for coming to my world. Peace.